So, a summoning. It's been quite a while since someone was brave or foolish enough to summon me. Years, decades, centuries perhaps. Tell me, mortal, which one are you? Brave or foolish? Oh, of course you'd say brave. They always do. Always will, I suspect. Very few mortals are ever wise enough to admit they're a fool for meddling in powers and knowledge beyond the comprehension of a mortal lifespan. So tell me, what exactly is it you want? Nothing. Please, don't take me for the same fool I know you to be. Anyone willing to go through the efforts to summon me wants something. So what is it? Fame? Power? Riches? Knowledge? Revenge, maybe? I've been asked for it all by those who've called for me, and I've delivered the world on a silver platter to the ones willing or desperate enough to pay my price. Which are you? Willing or desperate? It's clear you've put some thought into this, so you're not the most desperate example I've ever worked with. You actually bothered to try and contain me in a circle. Yes, mortal, try. Your runes are sloppy. But credit where credit is due. I would need more effort to break this than you would to push a finger through toilet paper, which is more than I can say for some of the so-called sorcerers and occultists who've brought me to your plane in the past. But still sloppy. In fact, I find it so hard to make an arrangement under these circumstances. I'd say I hope you don't mind if I do away with it, but I don't particularly care. Ah, there we go, mortal. It's so much easier to conduct business when we're pretending we're on an even playing field. Now, there we go. It's so much easier to conduct business from my desk. Yes, a desk. Don't look at me like I'm a monster. I have rules. I have codes. My contracts are, after all, ironclad. Think of me more as an interdimensional consultant. A banker from another plane who provides loans for the smallest pieces of collateral. I hope you won't think I'm less professional for putting my feet up, but please, take a seat. Tell me what made you so desperate, or so bold as to call my name into the void. Not what you want, mind you. I want to know why you called me for it. Uh-huh. Of course. Yes, that would drive anyone to call me. Now then, On to the subject at hand. What is it you want? Fame? I could make you known worldwide. I could make it so all mortals either want you or want to be you. You could be first on the guest list for award shows, coronations, every red carpet event. You could spend your days mingling with the who's who, rubbing elbows with stars and CEOs, world leaders both renowned and reviled. A day wouldn't go by where most of the planet wouldn't know your name. Power. You could command armies strong enough to topple countries. You could control businesses that are household names. World leaders would grovel at your feet out of fear for their nation's safety. Their economies, their very way of life, would only still exist because you decided it should continue. Governments and economies would rise and fall at your very whim, with no more effort than it takes you to clip your nails or wipe your ass. Riches. You would never worry about anything again. You could buy entire first world countries and never make a dent in the fortune you possess. You could erect statues of yourself in solid gold and have them destroyed a day later with what you'd consider pocket change. You could sail the world on a fleet of yachts that would dwarf the tonnage of most countries' navies. For the same amount of financial effort that most people would need to keep a car on the road. Knowledge. Oh, this one's always fun. You could have the secrets of the universe in your head. You'd be able to create technologies centuries ahead of current inventions. You would always know the best course of action and have perfect insight on any situation. But with this one especially, I tend to advise caution. Knowledge is not always the gift most assume it to be. Often the knowledge of truth, of good and evil, of the right path and secrets best left buried in dusty tomes in libraries long forgotten, is a curse like no other. Revenge. Oh, perhaps this is simpler than I expected. Maybe you just seek vengeance for wrongs you feel have been committed against you. Oh, how wrong they must have been for you to resort to this, though. You could make them suffer. You could make them know every agony you've experienced a dozen, no 100, maybe 1,000 times over, until they wish for their death, only to be 110% certain that no matter what they did, such a mercy would never come for them. They could suffer from now till the death of the universe itself by your will alone, with the knowledge that their wrongs against you specifically led to that fate. So tell me, mortal, what do you desire? State it, and and it can be yours for a price. Of course. Oh, you would pick that one. So you ask, so you shall have. All for one little price. Just a piece of your soul, not the whole thing. Just a tiny little sliver. All you have to do is sign your name and let me take my price. And everything you desire can be yours. Unless you had any questions. Ooh, most would sign in blood without reading. But I knew you weren't as much of a fool as others I've dealt with. As I said, and the contract says the same, I'll deliver your deepest, darkest desires to you on a silver platter. All you need to do is sign. But I'll caution you, like I've cautioned every one of my clients. Some desires are better left chased and never achieved. My other clients. Oh, you want examples? Fine. I'm sure you've heard of at least a few of them anyway. Norma Jean Mortensen. But perhaps you know her better by the name Marilyn Monroe. She wanted fame, to rub elbows with the rich and famous, and she got exactly what she wanted. She's still renowned to this day, after all, for her beauty and her skill. But sometimes rubbing elbows, or perhaps it was because she rubbed something else with a certain world leader, leads to a downfall. Fame always has a price, mortal. And I'm not referring to what I charge for it. Alexander III of Macedon, perhaps better known by his title, Alexander the Great. He wanted power. He wanted an empire that would be known for all time. And I fulfilled my end of the bargain. He was never defeated in battle, and he toppled empires that people thought would stand for eternities, with the effort it would take most to topple a house of cards. But power does not remove the jealousy of others, nor does it make one invulnerable. And so he succumbed to the truth of, oh, how? Even I'm not aware of how he succumbed. Some claim disease. Some claim it was the drink or the poison. But my end was fulfilled. His empire will be known as long as mortals like you are aware of their own history. His legend will echo across time. Have you heard of Madame Musa? I know his reign was centuries before your time, but he wished for wealth beyond measure, the impact of which has still to this day never been matched by your kind. He sought it to do good. He gave his wealth away on his pilgrimage. He tried his best to do good with it, but his impact destabilized economies wherever he traveled, the effects of which were felt for decades after. Even those who make deals trying to do good often encounter unforeseen consequences. What about revenge? Oh, don't worry. There are no stories there that you'd know, or be worth telling. It's happened before, and I'm sure it will happen again. But those tales are often messy, not worth telling. And those who'd use me for vengeance often never leave a mark of their own to begin with. So, mortal, will you take my deal? Yes, I suspected you would. Sign your name with this pen, and our pact is sealed. But be warned, once you do, you and I are connected. No, entwined forever. This is not a pact that's easily broken by either side. And like that, our pact is sealed. And now for the price. Yes, mortal. A bed. I assumed it would be more comfortable for you while you give me my payment. There's a reason the French call it le petit mort after all. I did say it would be a sliver of your soul.